The form of the letter Gimmel is a foot walking. One can see it very, very clearly. Almost looks like a high heel. This represents progress and movement in the world. As we said in the introduction, every letter is an archetypal form representing energies that will manifest in worlds, souls, and divinity. So the idea of walking is explained in our mystic tradition as the idea of what's called run and return. Ratzo v'shov. That all of creation is in a process of running and returning. One can experience this by putting their finger on their pulse, of putting their hand to their heart, and to be aware of their breathing. And when one studies physics, one is very, very aware of the dynamic pulsation of every entity, every atom, every molecule is running and returning. This is represented by the letter Gimmel. The word for camel in Hebrew is gamal, which is very close to Gimmel. In the ancient world, the camel represented the idea of movement and progress, especially in the Middle East, in the deserts. That was the mode of transportation through the desert. Another meaning of the word Gimmel is gimilut chasadim, which means bestowal of goodness, doing good deeds, to give. But paradoxically, the word to wean also comes from the word Gimmel, the gamel. So we have, once again, a paradox that the letter represents both giving and withdrawing. And this is very, very similar to the dynamic of run and return. In its ultimate sense, this dynamic translates as reward and punishment. We're told in our tradition that every thought, every word, every action is stored, is remembered, and a person has to give an account for everything that happens. It's a very, very basic concept in Judaism of reward and punishment. This is represented by the letter Gimmel. Now, another aspect of the Gimmel, which is very important, is that it equals 3. Now, up to now, when we discuss the Aleph and the Bet, and even here in the Gimmel, there's been an emphasis on duality. Here we see a new dimension, a third line or axis. The Gimmel represents 3 on every level of reality. And this letter represents very much harmony. One of the secrets of the Magen David, the Star of David, is that you have 2 interlocking triangles. What is a triangle? A triangle is 2 dots connected by a line that come together in a single point. So these 3 lines represent the Magen David, but represent integration and balance and harmony. And we're told throughout Kabbalah and Hasidut that the concept of rectifying the world is based very, very much on finding the balance between things, between right and left, male and female, and all the other dualities are connected by a middle line. And that is why the Sfirot, the divine emanations, which are talked about so much in Kabbalah, are based on 3 lines: a right axis, a left axis, and a middle connecting axis. So Aleph, Bet, and then Gimmel. Gimmel is taking the dualities of the world and unifying them into a three-pronged process. And this is represented by the three patriarchs, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. It's represented by the Jewish people are divided into three divisions: priest, Levi, and Israelite, Kohen, Levi, and Yisrael. The Torah was given in the third month. The Tanakh, the Bible itself, is made up of three divisions. And we see this idea of three manifesting itself in harmony and integration. A very good meditation on the letter of Gimmel is to tune in to this run and return, this pulsation of life that is happening in the soul, in the world, and on every level of reality, and also to experience the idea of the Magen David of taking a triangle going up, a triangle going down, and how they're integrated and unified together.